It's Brendan, your technology concierge. Today I'm joined by Max Starkov, all the way from the US, and we're talking about a number of things, all things technology, basically. Good morning, Max. How are you?
Hey, good morning from New York City. How are you, Brendan?
Max, the other question I wanted to, or thing I wanted to talk about is business of the future. So, US is ahead of us, but we're now coming out of the pandemic. Our borders are opening up. Starting to open up. People are going to stay in hotels. Do you think that city hotels, large city hotels, which have been probably 70% corporate in the past, will the corporates return in the same numbers as they did pre-pandemic?
Well, I don't think that we are going back to normal, as many people are hoping. We are going forward to the next normal. And this next normal will be quite different than the old normal that we know in the pre-pandemic times.
Yep.
So in this sense, I don't believe that the corporate business will come in exactly the same fashion in this mode. In the same time, I don't think that corporate business will disappear. It will come in a different form and shape. In the sense of, you have, even today in the United States, mid-size and smaller enterprise, the sales force from these mid-size and smaller companies that are hungrier, that has less resources than the big guys, they travel on business, even now. So they do travel on business. What you don't have is the big Fortune 500 companies, because of liability issues and so forth, internal regulations and the likes, but mostly liability issues. Some of them were even warned by their travel insurance providers that, hey, no business travel. Then we have to, revoke your insurance or increase your premiums. That was during the pandemic last year. So in this sense, that's why I mentioned liability considerations by the major corporations, but mid-sized and smaller companies don't have similar considerations. So in this sense, they're traveling.
Yep.
Fortune 500 companies not traveling. The big corporate meetings are not happening yet. With 500 people, with kickoff meeting with 1,000 people, or corporate whatever is the United States annual meeting at 500 people. Those are not happening.
Yep.
That's for sure. So what I believe in the future is that business travel will continue, unmanaged business travel. You will have maybe 60-70% rebound, if you will, of managed corporate travel. Hybrid type of corporate events, of corporate meetings. So instead of 200 people attending, you'll have 100 attending, and the rest will be
virtual.
Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever.
Yep.
Virtual. So we're talking about technology here.
Yes.
Does the hotel have the right technology for this? For this type of hybrid meetings?
Yep.
So that's why, if you look at all the projections, especially for the United States, Q4 of 2023 is like corporate business will be back to some kind of acceptable levels.
Okay.
But in the meantime, there's a new opportunity for hotels.
Yep.
And this new opportunity is all of those remote workers. How do you train them? How do you energize them? How do you focus them on the corporate mission? That's where it's a new type of business. People coming from their weekend houses, from Airbnbs, and congregating in one place where they finally meet each other after so many months.
Yep.
Or they meet their boss for the first time face to face. And then, they sit in a room, they have all the entertainment. There will be more entertainment than actual work done in those meetings, simply because it's more like team building, team bonding exercises. Are our hotels prepared for this type of business? It's a new type of business.
Interesting.
And I think that this will be huge. And if you have the right product, you will get a lot of this type of business. Because, mind you, the office environment, the cons and pros, but I don't want to go there. But in my experience, you achieve at least 50% of your knowledge as a specialist, as an expert in anything, through tacit knowledge, which you gain from your co-workers. For example, your co-worker working with a client that has this issue, which, again, over coffee, you exchange information, and now you're prepared. This thing cannot happen over Zoom.
Yep.
So my point is that we are missing the training. I remember in my company, we had a 6-month probation period. When we had people outside, out of college, 6 months probationary period, and they learned during 6 months. They took certifications that they had to take and so forth. You can take the certifications at home, but you will miss exactly this, like tacit knowledge that you can acquire from your surroundings, from case studies of your colleagues, from things discussed over beer during happy hour or over coffee with a colleague and so forth, with a friend. Many of because we had a lot of young people out of college and so forth at my company, many of them became more than just colleagues. They got engaged, they got married, like office marriage.
Yep.
Right now, you don't have this. So what I mean is that, so that's why managers are understanding that if they don't introduce some kind of face-to-face, even in 100%, let's say, remote work environment, if a company has accepted, okay, we'll shut down the office, no more office, we will work remotely. Like some companies have done it already.
Yes.
I think that these gatherings, which will be more, as I mentioned, team building, bonding, get to know your colleagues type of meetings, and of course there will be the corporate side with with all the here's our goals for this year, here are our objectives, here's what we stand for in the industry, all of the typical corporate stuff. It's a given.
Yep.
But so our hoteliers prepared for something like this? What about a scavenger hunt as a team building exercise? How many hotels can do it? Such things. What I mean is that what about a disco night, like throw back to the 1970s? Are they even prepared to do something like this? So that here the creativity can be, just imagine. But what I mean is that it takes somebody to sit, analyze, talk to potential clients, see what they want, and come up with a product. And this is, I think that this will be a very viable product in the coming at least 2 years.
I think that's fantastic. I love the idea, Max. I love it. Max, I really appreciate your time and the knowledge, and thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Brandon, you're more than welcome. And don't be a stranger. You know where to find me.